Well, ladies and gentlemen, part of my job as doing YouTube is unfortunately having to report on stuff that absolutely drives me insane, and this is going to be one of those videos. We have an article from Outkick detailing what's going on with PetSmart. So, PetSmart was brought up to my attention during our live stream that we do every single day at 8 p.m. Eastern. Don't miss it. Where the article says PetSmart is getting the Bud Light treatment over its Pride dog bikini to celebrate inclusion and relationship with a radical organization, ladies and gentlemen. And what is this organization, you might be asking? It's the same organization that Target decided to donate over $2 million to recently. So we're going to get into this article, guys. But of course, before we do, just consider giving this video a like so you can push us out into the YouTube algorithm, and consider subscribing because we're on our way to 23,000 subscribers. It says, OMG, how brave of PetSmart. The pet store chain is catching the wrath of the Bud Light backlash as it attempts to sucker the wokes into buying Pride bikinis for their dogs and other rainbow goods in an attempt to stay on the good side of the alphabet mafia. Now, this particular statement, I couldn't agree with more. This entire month of June is simply meant to virtue signal, nothing more, nothing less. That's all it's for. It's trying to capitalize on maximum gay dollar as much as you possibly can before the month is over and everything goes back to normal. They get rid of their rainbow profile pictures. They get rid of their Pride merchandise. All of this stuff goes away, and that's how you know it's nothing but a simple virtue signal. It says, yes, PetSmart has been doing this stuff since 2019. Yes, other companies have been slapping rainbow flags on everything they can think of for years. And yes, there is now a huge segment of the United States consumer base that is sick of it and now they're going to tell the companies their own feelings to the tune of smashing Target stock to the tune of its longest streak in 23 years. Now, that I also agree with, ladies and gentlemen. As you guys are pretty much aware, especially if you join us on our live streams, people are tired of it, man. People cannot deal with this anymore. We cannot deal with it having literally shoved down our throats. Everybody's vomiting rainbows. All you could do is go outside and see gayness 24/7 from people who think they should be celebrated for who they sleep with. It is the oddest thing I've ever seen. Honestly, it's just weird, and I just don't want to deal with it anymore. People just don't care. Nobody cares. Who cares who you sleep with? It's not a big deal. And the only reason why people are even upset about it is because you make it a big deal. Whenever you draw attention to yourself, you then cannot complain about getting that said attention. It's like when you poke a beehive and you get stung and you wonder how it happened. Well, that's how it happened. So that's exactly what people are doing when it comes to Pride Month, or even just a whole year for that matter. Not necessarily just Pride Month. But the fact that they're doing this at PetSmart, right? They're trying to use animals, innocent animals. Look at this thumbnail for this video. They're using animals who don't know any better, who don't know what they're being used for. This poor fucking dog is being used to virtue signal to people who barely spend money in the first place. It says Target was down another 2% in early trading Thursday, and analysts at JP Morgan downgraded the stock. Surely the Bud Light thing that started on April 1st has cooled off, right? As of May 30th, sales of the beer were down 30% compared to 2022. And now PetSmart wants in on that action. For $12.99, PetSmart would outfit your dog for the month of June, and maybe longer, depending on how long it takes your inclusive dog to shred the bikini to pieces in a Pride two-piece. Well, that's the only saving grace, right? I could take solace in the fact that most dogs are probably going to tear apart this outfit if given a chance, because they don't want to get virtue signaled to either or be used for this nonsense. They just want to play and be loved by a human being. That's basically it. So I do take a little solace in that. But the fact that they're trying to use animals to virtue signal with now and not just humans is just another extra level of annoyance that you could tack on to typical Pride Month annoyance that you deal with every single year. But this year feels different. This year feels overall the atmosphere surrounding Pride Month and just the topic and discussion as a whole feels very different. And I still believe that has to do with them originally targeting kids. And that's the discussion that people are really getting crazy over, and rightfully so. You should get crazy over that conversation. It says, provide your furry friend with a fun bathing suit for summer while also reaffirming your belief in unconditional love with this You Are Loved Pride bikini. This bikini features all the colors of the rainbow, slips on and off easily while offering a comfortable fit, and celebrates inclusion in a fun and fashionable way. Only at PetSmart. PetSmart, right? It's in its product description. But But there's more. PetSmart believes that all people should be valued and respected, regardless of sexual orientation, gender identity, or expression. We're proud to support organizations like GLSEN that are supporting youth and educators to advance a culture of inclusion. To learn more, visit this terrible website that Target also donated to. So this particular organization is a name that's being thrown around recently, right? I consider this organization to be the BLM of gay people. The only difference is they're using their money to actually bolster the army of the LGBTQ, essentially. They are trying to indoctrinate specifically children. They're going after children in that organization and trying to teach them about gender identity, sexual orientation, all of this stuff that a lot of states are trying to ban and avoid. This particular organization is getting funding from massive corporations to push that gender ideology. So again, be very well aware that this is not going to be the last time you're going to hear of GLSEN. I guarantee other corporations are currently donating to them now as we speak, and they're taking all that beautiful money and running with it. If GLSEN sounds familiar, it's the same organization that came under scrutiny for its association with Target. Fox News Digital says it uncovered details on how GLSEN calls for gender ideology to be integrated in all classes, even math. Wait, in math? Yes, in math. They are trying to incorporate pronouns and gender ideology into every single subject within the curriculum, including math. Why? Well, quite simple. They want control. They want to have people under their absolute control. It says Fox News Digital further reports GLSEN provides educators instructions on how they can make math more inclusive of trans and non-binary identities by including they/them pronouns in word problems. But the funny thing is, math is literally a binary system. It is always going to be the same no matter what. It is zeros and ones constantly. There is no changing it, and that's the beauty of math. Math is not racist, no matter how much people might want to tell you otherwise. Math does not discriminate. Math is always going to be math. So it doesn't matter how you try to make it more inclusive. The only way you can make it more inclusive is by simply trying to teach as many people as possible. So by you trying to say that these kids can't feel included in simple math because you're not involving their pronouns, that's a next level of narcissism that I am not ready to admit is even a thing. Because listen, at the end of the day, people are obsessed with themselves these days, and that's what started this whole thing. Narcissism started, and also perversion if you want to go that far, but narcissism is really what started. People really wanted to be celebrated for who they sleep with, which is just an obnoxious thing to me, because who cares? It's like, why would I want to hear about who's sleeping with who in straight sex, let alone gay? Like, it doesn't mean anything to me. None of this matters. But you want to constantly be in people's face like it's a beehive, and then when you poke it and get stung, you want to get mad that you got stung, and it doesn't make any sense to me. It says, and then there's a trans teacher, Louis Mayday Travis, who is spotlighted on the GLSEN website. Mayday Travis has spent the last 3 years telling the teaching community about the need for gender inclusivity in biology and other science classes. For GLSEN, Mayday Travis wrote the piece titled 6 Ways I Make My Science Class LGBTQ Inclusive as a Trans Teacher. Because clearly, when it comes to science, that's what matters, right? Like pronouns and everything like that. That's what matters in science and biology, not anything else other than pronouns. Now let's take a look at GLSEN's suggested policy to schools on transgender and non-binary students who want to play sports and take part in overnight field trips. Students shall be permitted to participate in all physical education, athletics, and other extracurricular activities according to their gender identity. For overnight school trips, students shall be allowed to use of any overnight facility that corresponds with their gender identity. Transgender and non-binary students will be consulted in the planning process to address any potential concerns and needs for privacy. So if you are a boy and you want to identify as a girl, you will be allowed to sleep with other girls. Ladies and gentlemen, parents out there, listen very carefully. This is fucked up. This is what they want. They want to be able to do this. I guarantee you the chances of that happening is probably 90% higher than the reverse, right? So you're not going to have transgender men, right, trying to sleep with other men. You are most likely going to have men pretending to be women wanting to sleep with other women overnight during like overnight facility trips or whatever the case may be. So again, ladies and gentlemen, think about that. If you are a parent and your child is in a particular school that might be indoctrinated by the GLSEN, this corporation needs to have eyes kept on it because it's very, very important. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.